Hello there, everybody, and welcome to today's Lone Crown Show, where I have literally no idea what to talk about. Well, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Well, I'm going to probably talk about my New York trip because that's probably what everyone's thinking about, and I haven't made video put up in a while, so I really wanted to put something up, but I couldn't really. I don't know. I haven't really had the wanting to do something like this, a podcast or whatever it is, because it's always hard when you go away or whatever it is you do, because you always ends up having a gap, and you get out of your rhythm of doing once a week or whatever it is you do. So yeah, I am back again, and I said I was going to do one before I even left, but nah, that didn't happen. Didn't feel like it, and it's been that way a lot lately. I've been not feeling like doing much, unfortunately, and I want to change that. And you know, I mean, the reason why I it's the momentum thing about it all. I mean, you want to have some sort of momentum. You want to feel like it's getting better or it's getting somewhere or whatever it is. And I've been feeling like it's been kind of stale how I've done the podcast, and I do want to, for the next one, to probably throw in some segments now, because and just come up with that and just have some sort of strict, like, okay, I'm gonna at every show I'm gonna talk about one new segment, and then I'm gonna talk about, I have no idea, but come up with different stuff, and maybe TV show of the week or whatever. I want all of this to be like in every one, so it gets easier for me to do it, and having something like that, you always know there's something you can talk about, and don't be afraid to, like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today. Instead, just fill up on news and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so and that comes into one of the news thing I actually think I want to talk about before I talk about my New York trip. First of all, I want to say people who listen to this one should go over to Lambent Production this Sunday and listen to my podcast I did with Sir Senior Lambent, or Sir Lambent as I call him. It was. I think it was a really good podcast. It was. Maybe I wasn't in the best mood as I could possibly be in, because I like to joke around a lot when I'm in a good mood, but I didn't have that sort of feeling. But I feel like we had a good conversation about like everything from Disney to conspiracies to like all of that sort of stuff. Lambert's a great guy to talk to, so yeah, people should check that out this coming Sunday. So there's a couple of things like news of the world that I don't know if I well, I'm gonna just straight out. Yeah, we all know this this like Malaysia plane that's been missing for forever, and everyone is saying that it's like hijacking gone wrong and stuff like that. One thing though I'm really upset about in this whole thing is it has almost become a joke, and how the news coverage did it, and all the speculations, and just a million articles. And when you don't have any information, why the fuck do you keep posting stuff? Unless you uncover stuff, why post more news about it? All this like, oh, they found a pig, hey, they found another pig, it maybe found a black box now. I mean, hearing the first ping that the black box may be there, yes, I can understand that. But I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, everyone has forgotten that so many people lost their lives in this whole hijacking thing, and it's a dreadful thing. But at this point with all this stuff, I can't really become sad about it, and I feel more sad about the boat that went down, the South Korean boat. There was 325 students on that boat. That is so many kids. So fucking sad. So many kids on that, and I didn't exactly check who. Some people survived, but hopefully the most of the survivors were the kids. And not that I feel bad, but like the other people that died as well. But I mean, yeah, such a terrible thing, all of it. And yeah, the world is a bunch of news about terrible things, and I mean, it's like when I went to America, and the first news you see is kid apparently stabbing a lot of people, and yeah, I would say that the world is a terrible place, but I think it's a fairly even play. I mean, I would say it's a little bit more good than bad, but one bad thing outweighs many good things, unfortunately, which we have noticed in comments. I mean, people are like, there are like hundreds of good comments, but that one bad comment that's like really hurtful is the one you remember, and that is quite sad that our human bodies work that way. Why not does the body not, oh, I'm outweighing, there's so much good here compared to bad, but the body keeps taking more bad than good. It's some sort of defense mechanism our body has, which is stupid. I don't know, maybe humans are meant to feel bad for the most part. The mind is and body is fairly undiscovered thing, or the potential is undiscovered, I should say. Sure, we know a couple of things, but the complexness of a mind, I mean, if we understood it, we would probably already have replicated it and, I don't know, been able to repair brains to get back the things some people lose. I mean, then we would just replicate the area where you store memories or whatever it is, and people would probably get, the rich people would probably get surgery to get the perfect mind, and the perfect body is where we're at right now, but the brain is still something truly unique. And yeah, you can't just help but feel like it's something beautiful about that. So yeah, this podcast so far has been up and down and giving you many different things. So yeah, that's the first thing. I would say that's the first. Why can't I find a word? First example of how a news thing can be. Now I just went off the top of my head and what I thought about, and yeah, I don't know. I felt like my, I don't know, not that my English has been lacking, but I feel like I should need to speak more again, and it's kind of sad in a way, because I went. Now we get into. I went on the New York trip with my mother, and that's why I don't enjoy like that much doing a trip with the people of your own language, because yeah, you will only like mostly do stuff with a person of your own language. Generally, that's the way it's. I mean, instead of like, if I was going by myself to New York, my trip would have probably been really different. I would probably seen some of the stuff as just as I did with my mother, but the difference is I don't feel compelled to like engage other people in conversation, or like start talking to other people, or just in general go. I probably would hit up a pub, or I would like go out more and just do it in my pace, and I would definitely have done less sites if I had the same amount of stuff to do. I would for instance, I would probably gone to the Museum of Modern Art. Is something I probably would have done, because that's just, it's an easy thing to do. But I probably maybe would have engaged other people talking. I don't know, Natural History Museum, I would probably have gone a lot earlier too, and spend more time at the place. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I would have probably done differently, because I mean, I would say that I didn't get around speaking that much English, because I mean, it's different when you go on a trip the way I did with my mother, because then you end up talking mostly with mother, and also when you act, you always you have the same kind of I have when I'm around my mother, I tend to act the same way I always act around her. When I'm not around her, I would say I act differently, and have no problem being more talking to other people and that sort of stuff. And I wouldn't say that it was a bad trip at all. I would say it's a fruitful trip, because this time I did sights. So if I were going to, like, I probably won't go to New York the next time directly. Maybe in some other time, I don't know. But probably go Florida. And there I'm more not of going to go and see sights. So then it's better when I can do that by myself. So yeah, that's the way I see this trip. That's something that it's worked great for this time to do it with my mother. So yeah, we I didn't have any flight problems at all. We didn't have any. I mean, it's for me, a 9-hour flight isn't long. I have done the Australia trips, so for me doing 9 hours is nothing. I could probably stayed longer in plane. I probably would have. I watched documentaries on the way back, so that was I was doing when I went back in flight back. Yeah, so the flight there we. Our first flight stopped in Zurich, where we took another flight, of course, to Newark, New Jersey, and when everything went great, we landed. We took the we took the train into the city. Yeah, and we ended up in Penn Station, and our hotel was opposite the station, so everything went really easy. And yeah, that first day we landed like 10, and so we went to bed immediately. The next day was the Wednesday, so during the day we went to MoMA, went past Rockefeller Center, can't think of anything else we caught on the first day. Maybe we did. We mostly just ate and went into stores and that sort of stuff. And yeah, MoMA was it's kind of I never realized I'm not tend to not go and watch art stuff that much, but I must say Picasso's works mostly is quite happy. I don't know if it's intended to be that way, but they're colorful. They're like you feel more happy watching his works. So I must say I understand why he's popular, because his works of art is nice to look at. And and some of the things that are in like MoMA isn't art. I'm sorry. Some of the stuff I could have made. And yeah, I know that, like, oh, it's the hidden meaning. It's meant to be this. If you think that's drawing lines or whatever it is, or some weird stuff is art for you and have hidden meaning, then you're full of yourself or smoking a lot of stuff. That's my opinion of it. Yeah, so yeah, you can find hidden meanings in anything. So you can find art in anything. And it's funny because I like the thing that art, people say art says cars isn't art, and I find that quite comical when you can have a piece of sausages built as a share that this is art. I don't know what the fuck that was at MoMA, but it looks like cut off penises that became a share. And that's supposedly art, but a car can't be art. I mean, not saying a normal standard car, but some of the cars that there's a cool Alfa Romeo car they made a couple of years ago that's really beautiful to look at. It's like, that's art, even though I've heard the car isn't that great, but it looks good. Yeah, so yeah, I like fairly interesting, and they had Minecraft at the game part of it, and yeah, it's interesting how far that game has come from the beginning. Yes, so, and then we met OJ during the evening, and I could barely eat anything. Yeah, I had barely any sleep that night because of the fact that I got a phone call 4:30 in the morning. Yay! So happy about that. And I couldn't sleep again because it's so fucking cold. We couldn't close our window. Something wrong with it. So yeah, cold as shit and other stuff like that. Yeah, annoying. But what can you do? Then the first day we did what did we do before the hockey? I think we caught Central Park. I think we did Central Park. Yeah, yes we did. We went to Central Park, walked around that on the first day, and yeah, it's a beautiful park. I would say, like, it's a normal park. It's apart from the fact that it's like you have seen this place so many times from movies, it isn't something that spectacular, I would say. I think it's quite cool with a big pond, lake or whatever it is in the middle of it. It's quite huge. It wasn't that it was bigger than I thought it would be. But yeah, it was. And on first day it's starting to get warm, and yeah, so. Yeah, it was quite a nice park. Nothing more to say about it. Then we had the hockey, which were one of the highlights I was looking forward to, and yeah, I happy Lundqvist was in net. I was happy to watch it in a hockey arena. It was quite a nice arena. I mean, for being that old of an arena, it still looked good. It looked fresh. It wasn't anything that looked really old, except for outside of it. Yeah, so we were on like 400 seats, so we were quite high up, and we had a quite good view of it. And yeah, and the best lady was there. She she like tore apart like all the players. It was like like one of the comments was after Mark Stahl missed the shot. Mark Stahl, what was that aiming for? Do I need to draw your diagram to hit the net? Wasn't Brian Boyle? She really tore him apart, and that's just the best. Old ladies who just love the game and just shoes up people for breakfast, it feels like. She loved Callahan because she also listened to the Tampa Bay game on the radio. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, we're good seats. Not the best of game because the Rangers are already through and Buffalo is shit right now. So, well, it was quite even game. It ended up becoming Rangers won it 2-1. So yeah, even game, evenly bad game, I would say. So yeah. And then we had Friday, which we took a little bit longer time and went to Wi-Fi places because I was checking in on if I were going to meet John or not. And yeah, so that didn't really happen, unfortunately. I didn't think I really talked that much about meet with OJ. The fun fact, waiting outside of the place, Snoop Dogg went past, or someone looked like exactly like Snoop Dogg, but had a whole crew with him. So yeah, it must have been, I think, but that was quite cool. So yeah, meeting OJ was a little bit weird. Just saying hi, you were a little bit nervous because it felt weird suddenly meeting OJ, but yeah, it was really good. I had fun, even though I couldn't really eat, which was bad, or more unfortunately. Pretty good. What else? Yeah, so yeah, Friday, since it ended up being nothing really with Jan, we went to you had so many names for what is American National History Museum. I think I said that right. Yeah. Anyway, that was quite interesting. You had animals, dinosaurs. You had like you had African heritage and all those kinds of things. So yeah, that was. We were both really hungry, which was maybe a mistake. We didn't really eat earlier, or whatever it is. Because you after a while you just were so hungry. So we saw we saw the dinosaurs. We saw the animals and all those things. Quite nice. So after that we just took it easy for the rest of the day, and didn't do much. And then the last day we went to Ground Zero and Brooklyn Bridge, and yeah, felt weird doing. You have a weird feeling going to see something like Memorial for something like that, Ground Zero, and I felt bad about that. Yeah, and also this donation. You really should donate. I just feel bad about that. I mean, if I want to donate, then I donate. I mean, I don't need to be forced to feel bad about it. You can have stuff that like you can donate here. Doesn't have to say you should donate this. You should donate this, and you really like have it really displayed. It's like if you don't do it, then like you like look like a terrible human being, and that's just put a person in that position is just, I don't know. I think that's just horrible. So after that, Brooklyn Bridge was nice to walk on. You didn't have a lot of space to walk on, so that was both good and bad. The weather, the first day till Saturday, was fantastic. We had like around 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I mean it was really warm weather. We could have only in t-shirts and that sort of stuff. So that was really nice. And then you get back to Sweden, and we didn't have the flux in weather. So yeah, I think that's it. The home trip went smoothly, nothing problem, and now I'm back to having the horrible sleep schedule again, because I ended up the first day sleep too long, so that's just annoying. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, because it's been a while since I did one, and I feel like this is a packed one, and had a lot of stuff, and because I had a lot of stuff I could talk about, and yeah, so thank you guys for listening, and you can check out my stuff on this channel that you're listening on, or you can go to KOC on Crown for the non-updated channel, which I will promise one day this year will get an update. I joked about that on Lambert's podcast, because apparently I promise stuff on that one all the time, and that never happens, so sorry about that. The Store of Crown on Twitter, I'm changing it to only the Store of Crown soon, because the part is stupid. It's hard to say. So in my mind, in the beginning when I did it sounded better, but I'm just gonna go with Store of Crown probably. So yeah, I think that's it. Wrapping it up. See you guys on another show coming to you next week, maybe. Something new maybe coming then. Probably on Tuesday I'm gonna start trying something new, or maybe just tomorrow if I feel up for it. But I have a hard time seeing that I'm going to manage to start getting my sleep schedule around at that point. But next week, my new life. No, I'm not gonna be so cliche. Next week I'm gonna change myself, and I'm gonna become the person I always wanted to be. You're gonna hear me out that I'm going to become that person. I'm gonna be the person that you wanted me and I wanted me to be, and I'm gonna be the president of Sweden, but we don't have presidents because that's not how we roll. I'm gonna become the king. I'm gonna become the king. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys another time.